Sup, Nerdmigos, on the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. We're back at it again for another review Jive. It's been a while, I know, don't worry. So we just got back from our little local theater where we went and saw Thunderbolts, the 2024 Marvel.
Yep. Action
movie. What do they call them? Anti-hero team up?
Yeah, anti-hero team up or something like that. Yeah. Thunderbolts, not Thunderbirds.
Which is what we looked up when we went to look up the cast.
Tried to call it.
Yeah. It's not 2004's Thunderbirds. So, yeah, don't worry about it. That's not happening.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, quickie spoiler-free review of Thunderbolts. One word or less, obviously, right? So, it's my review. No, quickie spoiler-free review. Like, watch it in theaters. I feel crazy saying that, but like, go to a theater.
This was surprisingly good. It was
so
surprisingly
good,
fun, and also deep, and it definitely didn't feel like as long of a runtime as it actually is.
Yeah.
But like in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
Like it felt like this was a much shorter movie because everything
there are mid-credit and post-credit scenes, so stay for those. It's worth it. But yeah, this is what we've been asking for as Marvel fans. I think is the best review I can give for this, is like, this is a good movie. It's not good, but it's not good within certain parameters. This is a genuinely good Marvel superhero movie, and it's what we've been wanting from Marvel superhero movies. Of the movies, I think the only one we haven't seen so far is the new Captain America.
I think so, yeah.
Right? Where Harrison Ford is the president. That's the only one we haven't seen. So we've seen everything else. If you've been
feeling a little burnt out on it, like this is a great
refresher
way to like get in and get refreshed. And we also didn't feel like you needed to see all of the previous films, especially like rewatching things right before.
Yeah,
we did none of
you
that.
You do not need to go in prepared.
Like that was necessary.
Any references to the greater MCU are like face value only and like internally explained within the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Or of such throwawayness that like whatever, dog.
It was like playful banter that did not necessarily move the plot forward.
Yeah, and you didn't need it to you don't need to understand exactly what happened when somebody's like, well, blah 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 blah. You're just like, yeah, I get in context what's happening. So it wasn't like this. And to that end, this didn't feel like an MCU movie, like capital U universe building sort of movie. This really felt like just a standalone movie. When we got first done with the movie, I said it felt like a one-shot to me. It felt like one of those little 4 to 8 run comic, you buy it in a trade, or whatever, where it's like,
just like a nice little
Marvel hired
story.
One writer and one artist and said like, "Hey guys, here's a bunch of names. Who do you want to choose?" And they're like, "Give me these 5 guys, and let me go do a they're gonna save the day this time." Like it really felt like a team up. It really felt very like reminiscent of like Deadpool Killustrated, or like some of the ones where it's just like it doesn't have anything to do with what's really happening, and it's just sort of like exists within the like greater concept of these characters or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, although it did not feel like Deadpool Killustrated.
No. I just mean in the context of its disconnection from the like greater like this time we killed one god, in the next what do they call them, phases or whatever.
Yeah.
In phase 27 we got to kill 14 gods.
Yeah, the
or
stakes were
whatever.
Actually like nice.
They're chill.
It wasn't like a universe ending stake, which it feels like has
it was
been the
reasonable
case for like
for the like
the
power
movies.
set of the people. Like the way everything was solved is good. So I feel like we're like walking into the wall of like things we want to talk about with spoilers. So I'm gonna say spoiler-free review, go watch it, and get out of here. Pause this, leave it on pause, get your clothes on and leave the house, and then go watch this movie, and then come back and you can take those clothes right back off, and then sit down and join us for the rest of the review.
Yeah.
So spoilerful naked review. Spoilerful review. Dude, this was so good, and I kind of love that they sort of fuck you the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
It's very much so like you could have written Bob as universe-ending big bad.
Yeah.
Instead, it was like Manhattan. Right? And it's funny because they literally Chekhov's gun the fact that none of these people have powers and they're all just like punchy shooty people.
Yeah.
And they solved the problem without powers.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And they also called attention to the concern that's okay, well, what does this world do now that there are no Avengers? Now that the Avengers are gone, who's helping? Who's stepping up to do this stuff? But it felt...
I also like that the big bad was just politics.
Yeah, the big overarching bad was actually...
politics lady?
And also intervention.
It
was they watched an episode of How I Met Your Mother and was what if we found a way to make this Marvel?
This? Yeah, exactly.
But that's not to say that it was bad. It was done really well. This movie had a lot of morality behind it.
Yeah.
Which is something I feel like we don't actually often get in the Marvel movies because it feels like they're just churning them out so fast, right?
Yeah.
But this one had a message with it.
Well, it's that okay, so I think that this movie succeeds at grounded in a way that a lot of Marvel and almost everything DC's made has incredibly failed at, right? It's sort of like how DC was gritty and dark works, and they're what if we make it actually grainy and actually hard to see stuff? And you're well, that's not really what we meant.
You know what?
Okay.
This movie was not very hard to see. This was not an incredibly visually dark movie.
No, even though its use of dark was good, there was still shape within the dark and whatever. And this is such a great example of we want a movie that's grounded in reality. Okay, it was grounded in reality insofar as the way the characters interacted with the universe, but you never questioned that sound stops the quantum flux lady from working, which what? Right? You never questioned that the Wunderkind God Kid can just shadow smoke motherfuckers.
Which is wild.
Which is horrifying. Yeah. Jesus.
Woo, boy.
Right?
That was I was not expecting that. And boy, when that started happening, all I could think of was in the War of the Worlds remake, the one with Tom Cruise, the aliens missed people in a very similar way.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because that's horrifying.
Well, and it gave you that creeping dark, because it wasn't just everybody's missed, poof, right? It was mist. And the whole time the darkness is crawling forward.
Yeah.
Right? And forward, which is so good. What a fucking great villain, bad guy to fight. Because he wasn't really the villain character, because the villain character was bloody what's-her-name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was in a way a red herring. Her name's Victoria?
Yeah, something. That bit in the courthouse where she's he's not the Secretary of Defense, he's the Secretary of Defense. Oh my
Hilarious.
God. Let me tell you, this lady was bringing Cersei levels of sassy fuck this chick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so good. She's so good for that role. And I kind of love that for the most part, the super
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
De Fontaine. It's not Fontaine. It's De
Fontaine.
Yeah. I love that really the big fight at the end wasn't laser beams and aliens, and it wasn't a punch 'em up, shoot 'em up. It was mostly just shadow work and intervention and a deep reference to bipolar or schizophrenic depression and substance abuse.
Yeah.
Right? They're
Yeah.
like, what if we made substance abuse and like bipolar depression, like extreme bipolar depression? What if we made that the bad guy? And the visual designers were like, I fucking guess we can do that. Yeah. Why not? And then they did, and they did
a great job.
So fucking good. I love that, like, such a big part of this movie is like the trauma of the characters.
Yeah.
Right? And them like coming together. I love Alexei. Right, that's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dad.
He stole the show.
He's so good.
He's so
good.
Show.
Honestly, the two best characters were Alexei and DeFontaine. Because Alexei is just like, I want to be good dad. And be celebrated. But, you know, am not. And then DeFontaine is like the most punchable person.
She's like Scooby-Doo levels of evil.
Yeah, dude. She's just, it's like I feel like if she had been a dude character, we would have got the standard, she's running and one of the guys just goes like, boom, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, I was waiting for that joke.
I mean, they kind of tried to do that and then she stepped on the other side and that's
exactly what they did. And
which is
that was
genius
fucking
move.
Sexually good.
Yeah.
When she's just like, no, guys, no. Oh, I see that the press is here. Hey, everybody, thank you very much. Hey. And everybody's just like, this bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, so good. She is so good. Between her and Alexei, absolute scene stealers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For what it's worth, the physical acting from Bob.
Yeah.
Fire.
Was really good.
He was so like scared.
Yeah.
And
he
like
felt
sad.
very like fish out of water too in his like
also
light side stuff.
How them abs doing, baby? This guy got abs for like a 10-second scene?
Yeah, this poor guy did all that work.
All those crunches for nothing. I mean, not for nothing. Good for him.
It's funny because he felt very, like, in his fish out of water scenes, he really reminded me of the love interest from Underworld. You know, Michael. He reminded me a lot of Michael.
He even had kind of the same hair.
He had, like, a similar, like,
he is hella, like, first
hair.
Underworld Michael. Specifically.
Specifically
first Underworld Michael.
Well, I mean, it kind of went into like second Underworld Michael too,
I guess in the end,
he very much reminded me of like Michael from Underworld.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, but like not in a bad way, but like in a fish out of water sort of like almost like everyman for this like
well, he was such a John Doe.
Yeah.
You know, and I think using Bob, like making him just like Bob.
Yeah,
was such
I'm
a great.
Familiar with his character.
Yeah, I'm gonna
MCU,
have to look that character up from the comics because like I've read a bunch of, I mean, obviously like a shitload of comics, and like I feel like I don't know that, but I'm also certain that if once I sit down on my laptop and look it up, I'm gonna be like, oh, duh. Yeah,
it was nice because as like a Marvel Comics, like a big Marvel Comics fan, like I didn't know who this was, which I mean I haven't read any like. I haven't been current on comics in a while.
Yeah.
But it was nice because I didn't immediately know who this was. So I didn't have
what's his power set and what's his background drama.
Yeah. Like I'm familiar with these characters, but like kind of really primarily through the MCU lens.
Yeah.
So it was cool to have a character that like I didn't already know something about.
Yeah.
Right? It kind of made it like a little less like, oh, well, I know that he's trying to kill everybody because he's really in love with death. Or like
whatever.
Galactus in his big stupid helmet.
Yeah.
You know?
Or
whatever. Like, I didn't have any of that stuff with it. So this was like a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The action set pieces were well done choreography-wise, as well as, like, they moved the plot along. It never felt like, hold on a second, we're going to do a punch-up over here, come back in like 5 minutes. Like, it never felt like that in the big punch-ups.
And the fan service was, like, very minimal, like, in previous Marvel movies and in other movies, particularly those from, like, big, you know, like, franchises.
Disney
you get
stuff.
You get this moment where it's like, oh, here's all your, like, Yeah. You get all your, like, these are the good guys, and they're about ready to fight the bad guy, and they, like, have a pose.
Yeah, you know? You never really felt like you got the, like, it's this time. You know, like you got those, but you also got those in the context of like in the chase scene, and they're like, oh, let's like the first one blows up, and you're like, we literally turned to each other in the theater, and we're just like, what the fuck did she just do?
Yeah.
Right? And then the next one blows up. We see the like little bleepy thing, and the next one blows up, and we're just like, what? And then like, then you see the Bucky sequence, and you're like, oh shit. And you get that, and you get like the last one blows up, and everybody's like, oh my god, Bucky's here. And then like, but that doesn't like that's the fan service, but it also serves the like, and then like, floop, he puts a bomb on the car, and they're like, ah shit, and it blows up. So like the fan service, like the pause for fan service, and it wasn't really a pause, served the comedic timing of Bucky blowing them up the joke.
It didn't feel like they had the pause for applause fan service moments.
I mean, they really
quite
did.
As blatantly as many. Yeah. Like, there's a couple spots where
they did have one pause
in the elevator.
It wasn't really a pause for fan service. What they had was they had the necessary time it took to complete the action for fan service when he jacks that shotgun, cocks it, and then fucking
like Terminator,
just such a Terminator moment, and we were both just like, woo! So like, like there was that, but again, it wasn't the like, we're back at it again, it wasn't like that lame.
Yeah, they didn't have their like everybody, like lands and like punches the ground and they all look at the camera
do like
perfect and they're like ready to go. Like the fan service that there was and the Easter eggs that there were not like as like an audience, as like the audience, I was not like rolling my eyes.
Yeah, it wasn't like cringe, and you weren't like you weren't like, oh my god, we know who this is, right? Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, duh, dog. Okay, yeah, but like they're like hitting beats so fast. They're moving the plot along so smoothly. Yeah, that like anytime it happened, it felt like it was purposefully used to like elucidate confusion or to
it was like
support a fan joke, or not a fan joke, but like a spot joke,
like melded into the story in like a relatively seamless way, or as something that was kind of like a throwaway that like didn't really matter but still felt organic in the way that the banter was going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I definitely go see it. Yeah. Let us know what you thought.
Yeah, I think in theaters is a great place. Okay, so best character and best moment for you. Best character.
Best character is really hard, but I think I'm going to have to go with Alexei because he just was like bringing the peak dad energy that both in universe and out of universe, like in meta, like we want from him.
Yeah.
Like when he shows up in the desert with the limo, honking the horn, and does that's my daughter.
When they're in the thing and they're all like chained up still, and
as an eldest child, as an eldest daughter, I was just like, I feel this cringe so hard. Yeah. So that is both my favorite character and probably my favorite.
Oh, is the rolling up in the elevator? Okay,
because I was just like, I absolutely know how this feels in my very own way.
Yeah. I think I agree. Alexei is for sure my favorite character. He's just, and I mean, for what it's worth, what's her name? Victoria?
Yelena?
No, the bad chick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like Victoria's a really close second because is it Victoria?
Valentina.
Dang it. Okay. So Valentina is like a really close second. And the reason why, like I want to do both is because, like, Alexei is bringing the dad energy that the world needs. And I fucking love this character.
Yeah.
So much. Where he's just this, like, retired, just like, I'm sitting here. I mean, he used fucking dish soap to scrub his teeth. Brother, what are you doing?
That was so
man,
hilarious.
What is that is not gangster,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I really like him, but I think you said it right the first time. She is straight up a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah.
This lady, she's sitting in front of an impeachment board for Congress, and she's just like, I mean, what are you gonna do? Just wildly evil.
Yeah.
Wildly evil. And then even when she gets her like comeuppance moment, when bloody what's his name's got her by the neck, she's like, I'm not afraid of you. Whatever, brother. Give it a try. See what happens.
Yeah. Whoa.
What the hell is going? This lady's nuts, dude. She should get a brain scan or something. She might got like a tumor press on something. Yeah. This lady is like fearlessly insane.
Yeah.
So
she would be right at home in Severance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she for sure Team Kier. But like, yeah, so but it's probably Alexi. And honestly, I think my favorite scene in the movie is when they finally get to the top of the elevator and Bloody Bob is just like, cucumber! And they're like, what the shit, man? And they're like, we gotta go. And they're like, no, you don't go. You're gonna betray us. I'm gonna go. No, you don't go. You're gonna betray us. And they're like arguing, and he's just like, I know, guys. I'm really sorry. I didn't think this out. He's just having this Eeyore moment, trying to prevent from sneezing, where he's just like, I don't really know how we're gonna make it out of this or whatever. So good.
Yeah.
So fucking good. The like chemistry between all the characters was amazing. The like weird ego death, them having to deal with their traumas. Bucky slayed in this movie.
He did, yeah.
Even though he was like a C tier character.
Yeah, he was definitely
right. He was like so supporting cast for the rest of these guys, but he's just like real sad congressman, right? You can't really do what he wants to do. Shows up to save the day, and he's just like, ugh, I guess I'll save the day.
Yeah.
You know, he's just so done with it. Man, when he's eating that sandwich and it like slops on his shirt.
Boy, I've had that day.
Pulls his arm out of the bloody thing or whatever. It was good. It was so good. So then lastly, before we leave you guys, mid-credit and post-credit scene. Mid-credit scene with the Wheaties.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Fucking fire.
Absolutely
oh my god,
fantastic.
So good.
Very fun.
Very worth it. Very worth it. Post-credit scene, you knew they had to do it. You knew they had to make a fucking universe. You know how these assholes love that stuff. But it's cool that it brought the Fantastic Four. I had heard rumors, and like I don't know exactly how true this is, but it's my understanding that the Fantastic Four movie is gonna like reset the universe or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I want to see the Fantastic Four movie because I like what's his name and it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like style wise, it's very much like that like 70s nouveau futurism is like very much my vibe.
I mean, it looks cool. It's got a lot of great actors in it, but Fantastic Four has been pretty consistently a disappointment.
I am all the way down to the balls confident that this is it's going to be a bad movie. And it's not because of anybody's fault, except for the fact that maybe Fantastic Four is cursed. Right? Like, I'm willing to believe that there's, like, somebody got, like, an old lady, like, somebody who owns the Fantastic Four name or something, like, didn't give an old lady coins in an alleyway, and she was like, Vicar. And then...
Fantastic Four is the Macbeth of Marvels.
Yeah, like maybe, right? I mean, like, I'm prepared to show up to that theater when that movie comes out later this year and be fucking absolutely and devastatingly proven wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to get my hopes up based on what I would argue fairly large amount of circumstantial evidence to indicate that it might be cursed.
Yeah.
But like, obviously we got to do the universe thing. I like that they made it still comedy. Yeah. You know, where he's just like, we're the new Avengers with a Z.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a reference to one of the new Avengers comic runs from like the last 10 years or so. But so like I enjoyed that. Obviously Alexi still being Alexi was fantastic. And then they like zoom in and it's the Fantastic Four ship, which like, you know, we predicted it was going to be that or whatever. So like that's cool. If we get more Thunderbolts, yay.
Yeah, that would be great.
If we don't get more Thunderbolts, I'm still fine with that. Like, I won't be upset that we don't get more in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And specifically in these characters. And I think that maybe, even though the post-credit sequence clearly disagrees with me on this, I think that the thing that Marvel and Disney should learn from this is that you can do a story that exists within... ish, but doesn't directly affect the greater universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just do fun stuff. Marvel is a fucking absolute golden goose of a franchise to have your hands in, right? And so just just make Marvel movies, right?
Yeah.
They can be one shots, they can be one-offs. Do a live action Marvel zombie movie, and it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be on 616 or 2424 or fucking whatever. Just make movies. Just have fun with these characters. It's a comic book, not a drama book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like this movie is exactly what I have been waiting for from Marvel for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this movie, I may go so far as to say this movie may have cured my Marvel disenfranchisement. I really like this movie.
I don't know that I would go that far for me, but
I'm immediately prepared to see it again. Like, when it comes out to watch, I'm immediately prepared to watch it again for more jokes. Dude, bloody Captain what's his name with the fucking bent in half shield fucking slays me.
Yeah.
That they never got that fixed.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's pretty funny.
But yeah, so I don't know. What did you think of the movie? Who's your favorite character? What was your favorite part? Do you think Marvel and Disney should be doing more like one-shot style stuff, or do you think everything needs to be involved in a universe, for profits? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about all that stuff? Anything else?
No. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Comment below, like this video, share, subscribe, do all the stuff that YouTube tells us to tell you to do. You know it. We don't need to say it. And whatever. I've been John Norgrove. This has been Julie Norgrove. This has been Review Jive. I forgot what we were doing for a second there. I had like a little aneurysm. Don't worry about it. And we will catch you guys next time for more movie or other reviews.